sustainable friends, welcome back to our YouTube channel. As always, I am Sarah and we're here in our store Sustainable Friends. This is the store of the World Sustainability Organization based in Milan. Today I will start a new series of interviews which are focused on a new piece, let's say, that we want to introduce to you of the World Sustainability Organization, which is the World Sustainability Foundation. So a foundation which supports conservation projects of a lot of types all around the world. And in fact, today we're connected with one of our guests from Hillswick. And we have here Pete Bevington. Thank you so much for being here connected with us.
Nice to be here.
So, Pete, we're here to talk about the Hillswick's Wildlife Sanctuary. And as the first question, I want you to explain to us how it all started, so the story of the sanctuary.
Well, the story began with my wife, Jan. She was running a pub where she lived in a house on the seafront in Hillswick in the Shetland Islands. And after a very busy night, she went outside onto the beach to relax. And she saw something washing up on the tide. And she went over to investigate. And it was a very young seal pup, a premature seal pup. And this was back in May 1987. So she brought it home. And she asked around if anybody knew how to look after seals. And there wasn't anybody in Shetland who could help her. So she eventually managed to get hold of some people in Cornwall at the other end of the country. And they told her what to do. And she started looking after this seal. And by the end of the summer, word had got around and people had brought her seal pups that they'd found that needed help. And so by the end of the summer, she had 7 seals to look after. So that's how the sanctuary was started. And it never stopped. She just carried on after that.
So it's very important also to remember that she was the one who started it all, and she did a really great job that now you're also continuing. And so can you walk us through what happens when an animal is brought to you for rescue? Because it's not only seals, right?
We predominantly look after seals and otters, so marine mammals. So what happens with us is that we get mostly seal pups or otter cubs that come in because they've lost their mum when they're first born. And we bring them in and we care for them. We kind of have to kind of isolate them to begin with, and make sure they're kind of stable, and let them settle in. They're often very thin. We've noticed in the last, because we've been doing this now for nearly 40 years, and in that time, the kind of general health of the seal population has really declined quite seriously. So we have fewer seals, but we also have, they're coming in a lot smaller, and they're coming in a lot weaker, and they're coming in less able to cope with health issues that they have, which is a cause for serious concern for us. So when they first come in, we have to basically stabilize them. And then when we feed them, we used to be able to just give them pieces of fish straight away. They had the strength to take that, but nowadays they don't. We have a common seal pup we've had now for 1 month, and we're still having to give him a porridge mix so that it's a more delicate on his tummy. And that's at a month of age. We're just introducing fish pieces now, and it'll be another 2 weeks before we'll be getting him onto whole fish, I believe. So we go through that whole process. We feed them, we make sure they're putting on weight, and then we kind of move them onto whole fish. We put them outside. Once they're able to take whole fish, we put them outside into a big pool where they can exercise, build up their strength, and fatten them up to the point where they're big enough to take off on their own. Because a seal, mum feeds the seal in the case of the common seals we get in the summertime, she feeds them for maybe 4 to 6 weeks, and then they go off on their own. With the grey seals we get in the winter, she only feeds them for 2 weeks, and then they're off on their own. And it takes us about 3 months to get them to the same weight as a mum does with her milk, because a seal's milk is the richest milk in the world. It's 50% fat. So they grow really, really fast. I mean, in the Arctic, we have the hooded seal, and that The mum feeds the seal for 4 days, and in 4 days it grows 10 times. That's how rich the seal milk is. So, but it takes us a lot longer because we can't give them that kind of quality of milk.
Yes, it's a very delicate phase, I understand, and you've explained very well about this. And what is maybe another story, another memorable rescue that you have had over these years? Some animal that remained to you as a story that you can tell to us?
We've had a lot of stories over the years. The most dramatic story we have had was when we got called out to a seal, a big seal that had been caught in a lobster line. So fishermen go out and they set their lobster traps, and they have a rope that goes down to the trap, and then up to a buoy above. And the seal had got caught in this rope, and it was quite tangled up, badly tangled up, and it couldn't go anywhere. But the rope was quite loose, so it could swim around, and it could dive, and it could come to the surface. And we went out. We managed to find someone with a boat who could take us out, and we had to look for this seal, which was only coming to the surface every few minutes. In the end, the fisherman who had the boat, who was very good, he had a grappling hook, and he managed to throw the grappling hook and catch the rope, and then wind the rope in, and he wound the seal in as well. And at the end, the seal was hanging off the side of the boat by the neck, with the rope tied around its neck. And it was a lot of different bits of rope, and it was kind of choking on it was gasping, and so we were cutting away really, really fast. It was very scary and very dangerous, but we managed to get a towel over the seal's head. Then eventually it kind of fell into the sea and swam off. So that was probably our most dramatic incident. But it's a terrible thing when you get a seal trapped in a rope, because they're very difficult to catch, and you'll see many seals on the side, and this is all over the world. You'll see seals that are caught, they swim into a bit of netting or into some bit of plastic, and it gets caught around their neck, and then they continue to grow, and it just digs in deeper and deeper and deeper.
Yeah, that's a very big problem. Not only for seals, but also, as we know, for a lot of species in the sea. So that's a very important issue. So regarding our collaboration with World Sustainability Foundation, you have taken part in the projects both Save the Seals and Save the Otters. So I wanted to ask you, what has meant for you to become a part of this project?
We were delighted and very surprised when an organization based in Italy should kind of adopt what is effectively quite a small sanctuary up in the North Sea, where the North Sea meets the Atlantic. So it was wonderful to have that kind of international response to the work we do. I mean, we're often amazed at the amount of people that support our work from all over the world, because we're just a very small operation. Any support that we can get helps us keep going, because we're just a small little charity, and we rely entirely on people contributing, on donations, to keep us going. To have an organization like yourself doing such good work all over the place, we need more people who are showing care for our environment, especially our marine environment, because it's in such a poor state. And we're seeing that with the seals that we get in, that they're really, really struggling. It's really, really difficult out there. I mean, we're noticing now with the seals that not just their physical health is getting worse and their strength, but also we're now discovering mental, neurological issues that they're having, which we think is connected to pollution. So they're really struggling. Lack of food, pollution, human industrial work going on. The noise under the ocean is getting worse as well. So the more people like yourselves that can gather folk together to work towards helping and raising awareness and raising people's consciousness about how serious this situation is and how precarious it all is, because we need our oceans to be healthy for us all, not just for the marine animals, but for ourselves as well.
Yeah, and we're very, very honored to work with you because what you're doing is amazing. Like it's very big. Even if you're just a small volunteer-based sanctuary, what you do is really, really important. So keep up the good job. And it's very important that everyone also goes to support you. So I wanted to ask you to also share your channels and how to support and donate to your sanctuary.
The easiest way is to go. We have two main. We're on Facebook, Hillswick Wildlife Sanctuary. We're on Instagram as well. We have a website which is just hillswickwildlifesanctuary.org, and if you just type in Hillswick, really, you'll usually find Hillswick Wildlife Sanctuary online, and you'll find us. So any support would be greatly appreciated, and we hope to be able to do more work to help these sea creatures, not just the ones that come into the sanctuary, but we want to be going out there more to clean up beaches, to stop more plastic going into the sea, and also to kind of monitor the seals that are out there, because our concern is so great. We want to know what's going on out there.
Yeah, that's very important. And any new projects, you know that you can count on us, and that we can also share with all of our people who are watching, that we invite to go and check out all of your channels. So thank you so much, Pete. I hope we can hear from you soon. Maybe you can show us how you clean the beaches, or maybe you can show us the sanctuary. Maybe we can have some other videos to show to the Sustainable Friends. And in the meantime, I say hi to you, and I say hi and bye to everyone who's watching. Bye to the next interview. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much indeed. Much appreciated.